Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace, salutation, blessings, and mercy to the Lord's elect. Yahweh is the name of the Most High, meaning He is. Yahweh Shai is the name of His Son, meaning He deliver or He's Savior. Us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Israelites, the biblical descendants of Jacob. And the self-proclaimed white man is the devil. His biblical nationality is the Edomite. And we're living in the last days, right? And this will be a real quick video. Lord's will is edifying, and it's dealing with our health. You know, that's a trend that brothers have been on of recent. You know, our apostle Tahar recently did videos going into health, you know, diet, and certain other apostles. Well, I think all the apostles made response videos. Different elders in camps made response videos. Brothers been doing videos, and this isn't just a trend amongst us, but when you look out into the world, even people in the world are becoming more health, diet, and fitness conscious. All right. So before I get this here in Daniel, the first chapter, I actually want to open up this lesson with Micah 2:10. Which reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." All right. And that is talking about is this society, right? This beast system, this world as we see it, in particular, America, which is Babylon the Great. All right. This is not our rest. This place is getting ready to be destroyed, and our rest is with Yahweh Shai in the kingdom of heaven. All right. So it says, "Arise and depart, because it is polluted." I'm sorry, let me go back to it so you can see it on the screen, because we know this precept by heart. It kind of comes out a lot. It says, "Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." Now, we usually pull this precept to go into many different aspects, but the aspect I want to go into for this lesson is health and diet. All right? Because a part of departing from this society, a part of departing from Babylon the Great, is putting off this diet that we were force-fed. All right? Forced to believe that we need to eat 3 meals every day. Right? Forced to believe that we have to eat meat every day, all right, or even to the extent of with every meal, okay, and that we need carbs to be healthy. We need bread, we need grains, we need this, we need that, all right. We need to stuff ourselves with food all throughout the day. We need snacks in between meals, right? But these are all lies and a device given to us by our enemy to make us docile. All right, because you eat 3 big meals a day, all right, you're bloated, you're low on energy, but yet they tell you that you need energy from these big meals, but that's a lie. All right, and the truth is all you need, all right, all you really need to eat. And I'm speaking, you know, not just out of my ass. I've done extensive research on this. So I know what I'm talking about, but don't take my word for it. Do the research. All right. Do the research yourself. We have Google, and we even gonna read an example in the scriptures. But really, the only food you need to eat, us as what they call human beings, all we really need to eat is fruit. All right. Organic fruits with seeds. They must have the seeds in them. So fruit, vegetables, and herbs, right? That's all we need to eat is fruits, vegetables, and herbs. And we don't need to eat 3 times a day. All right. We really only need to eat 1 to 2 times a day at most. All right. But again, look this information up for yourself. Okay. You could survive off only eating fruit, vegetables, and herbs. Okay. And fruit, as sweet as fruit is, it doesn't spike your blood sugar nearly as much as any other food. And the reason being is because all of these other foods, bread, grains, they all have what's called glucose, which your body uses and stores for energy, if that's all that's available. But the thing about glucose is it spikes your blood sugar high. All right. But the thing about fruit is half glucose and the other half is fructose. All right, which fructose is downplayed, but fructose is a very vital thing that your body needs. Fructose is needed for energy. All right. But see, all this information is available on the internet. All right. The Lord set it up to where we got Google, we got the internet, so you could look up all this information. Don't take my word for it. All right. And another point I want to get before I go into Daniel 1 is look at the animals. And the scriptures tell us to watch the beasts of the field, roughly paraphrasing in Job. Watch the beasts of the field, the animals, they'll show us the way. Well, when you look at certain herbivores in nature, herbivores meaning they only eat herbs, greens, vegetables, and fruit. All right. Look how fit and healthy those animals are. All right, look how those gym heads out there. It's a popular belief that you need meat, you need proteins to build muscle, but that's a damn lie. All right, you can build muscle that way, but that's the unhealthy way, because you packing on all of this protein, but at the same time you're destroying your kidneys and your liver, because that's what has to process all of that protein. Really, all you need is fructose and amino acid to be healthy and to build muscle. And what proves it is look at a gorilla. A gorilla is a herbivore. A gorilla doesn't eat any meat. A gorilla doesn't eat any protein. All a gorilla eats is vegetation, which is herbs and vegetables and fruit. All right. All of the other animals out there that only eat grass, that only eat herbs and fruit, look how fit they are. All right. Now, I'm not pushing not to eat meat, because first of all, we have to eat meat at least once a year at the Passover, that lamb. All right. And the Lord gave us meat to eat to level us out, to balance us. So, me personally, I do eat meat, but I don't eat it every day. I eat it here and there. But the point is the main thing of our diet should be fruit, vegetables, and herbs. All right. And going back to that example of the gorilla, look how huge a gorilla is. And the gorilla isn't fat. A gorilla is very lean. All right. Mostly is mostly muscle with a very low percentage of body fat. All right. And the reason why is because, they're herbivores. But in their diet, the fruit that they eat and the vegetation contains what's called amino acid. And amino acids is what builds protein in the body. All right. So, we've been fed a lot of lies. They tell us that we need protein. But when you look into it, what makes up protein? Amino acids. That's what we really need. The animals that you eat, that they tell you to eat to get the protein, like you need steak, you need chicken. Well, what do those animals eat? They eat the vegetation. That's what we need to be eating. All right. But I didn't mean to go on that rant, but I did mention when I opened up, this video was about health. So I felt need to, spew that information out there and, do your own research. Don't take my word for it. So now let's go into the book of Daniel, the first chapter. And what I'm saying about all we really need to live, if we didn't have no food on this earth, but all we had was fruit, vegetables, and herbs, we would be fine, and we would be healthier than we've ever been. All right. I opened up with Micah 2:10, arise and depart. A part of us departing from this place is detoxing, literally. All right. Think about all the bullshit we ate over the years before we came into the truth. All the cheeseburgers and hot dogs and fries and McDonald's and candy and high processed foods and snacks. All right. That was the majority of our life. Now it's time to detox. That's why we go on fast, dry fast. No food, no water. All right. Clean our bodies at the cellular level. All right. So all this stuff is important. So this is Daniel 1. The point is in 15. I'll start from the top. It reads, in the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of the Most High, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his power, of his God. And he brought the vessel into the treasure house of his God. All right, it's going into the history of how, Daniel, ended up in this captivity. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's place or the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Now among these were the children of Judah, Daniel, all right, which this book is going into, the prophet Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, which those are the 3 holy sons, all right, that were thrown in that furnace and were untouched because they have faith in the Lord. All right. And they all, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they all got their names changed to, what was it? Daniel's was Belshazzar. And then the 3 holy sons was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But these are their Hebrew names: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. All right. So they were of a high value. When you go back to the 4th verse, they were skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science. All right. And they were worthy to be in the king's court, in his palace. All right. Now we're about to go into the wisdom of Daniel. All right. What Daniel decided they were going to do through the Spirit. So continuing on where we left off in verse 8, it says, but Daniel, now remember that the king ordered that, for 3 years they be nourished and given a portion of the king's meat, right? So eating all the things the king, the king and his nobles eat, the meat, the wine, the bread, all the stuff they had going on. Verse 8, but Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now the Most High had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking than the children which are of your sort? So the purpose of the king giving his portion of meat and wine and, food to Daniel and the 3 holy sons was so, that they would, in the king's mind, so they would be healthy. and look like they're a part of his court. Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. All right, so the head of the eunuchs that was over Daniel and the three holy sons, he was in fear for his life. Like, man, if y'all don't eat this food that the king giving y'all gonna look sick, and the king is gonna have my head. All right, and this is what Daniel says. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs has set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us post to eat and water to drink, which when you go into post is going into vegetation. All right, so Daniel proposed, like, look, let us go on a 10-day fast. It's just fruit, herbs, and vegetation, and then water to drink. Verse 13, then let our countenances, all right, which a countenance is your appearance, be looked upon before thee in the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servants. All right, so Daniel said, okay, well, look, let us go on this 10-day fast of just fruit and vegetation, right, post and water to drink, and compare us to those that are eating the king's meat for 10 days. Look at both of our countenances and see who looks better, who looks more vibrant and healthy. Verse 14, so he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh, which means healthier, than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and wine that they should drink, and gave them posts, which again, post goes into vegetation. All right, herbs. All right, more so herbs. So they went on a 10-day herb and water fast, and they compared themselves to people who were eating the king's meat, the king's food, which was the best of the best. Lamb, steak, chicken, whatever, bread, grains, rice. All right. So what this proves right here, this proves it. It's written right here in the scriptures that all you need is herbs. All right. And the scriptures tell us that the Lord gave us the herbs to heal ourselves. All you need is herbs, fruits, vegetables. That's all you need. And you'll be far better off in appearance and inner health than anybody else that's eating anything outside of that. All right, so that proves it right there. So, again, I'm not doing this video to push that we all need to give up meat and become vegetarians. That's not at all what I'm saying. All right, I'm more so to prove this point, just like Daniel proved the point that if you go on a fast, just herbs, just fruit for however many days, 10 days, weeks, months, years, man, you'll be doing your body some good, and it'll show in your countenance. All right, your skin will be glowing. All right, when you eat a lot of acidic, starchy stuff, or just fill up with carbs, that shows you're more sluggish, right? It's harder for you to pass a bowel movement, right? Your skin would develop pimples and stuff of that sort. Versus when you go on a fast, when you eating more fruit, now everything is passing out you more smooth. Your skin is glowing. You got that shine countenance, and now you could think better. Your blood is flowing how it's supposed to. All right, which the important part about that is now we could do the work of the Lord better. All right, now, our minds are more clear. All right. And then, of course, there's spiritual benefits to eating the right things and going on fast. Now the spirit. All right. It's a brother in the camp who brought up a good point. The point that a lot of these prophets, in order to receive these heavy visions of the Lord, like thinking about the prophet Ezra, what did they have to do? They had to fast. right? They had to fast for however much time. Ezra was told to go on a fast and only eat the flowers of the field to receive the visions. All right, so it makes sense that the Lord has us on this health tip because we're entering into the time of Jacob's trouble, where we're about to see all of those visions that the prophets got right before our eyes, and Lord willing, we're gonna be beamed up on those chariots. Okay, so in order to do that, our temples have to be clean for the Lord to be dealing with us on that level. So it all makes sense. And yeah, we gonna get them new bodies, fuck these bodies anyway. But at the same time, hey, we're dwelling in these bodies now. All right, these bodies are like our apartments. All right, let's say you got an apartment, but it's temporary. You on a 6-month lease, and then after that lease is up in 6 months, you gonna go move somewhere else. Now, because it's temporary, are you just gonna allow your apartment to be trashy? You never wash the dishes, just shit everywhere, and you like, oh, well, fuck it, I'm leaving here anyway. No, you gonna keep your place clean because that's where you're dwelling at. All right, how much more our spirit for our body? All right, or our bodies for our spirits. Okay, so I'm gonna end this off right here, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Peace and mercy to the Lord's elect. Shalom.